That's abrupt.
That was very abrupt.
She's
I
like,
did not
bam.
expect. Yeah, it's like out, done. Apparently I need to add a like fade out at the end there to make it less abrupt. What's up, y'all? Oh man,
I know.
looking at all this chat.
And of course, the 60-second hum is chat is 12 seconds behind.
Yeah. Oh well, so's the other. They're both going to be probably about the same
Yeah,
amount behind. It's totally
eventually.
fine.
Uh, man, why is this? Is this position weird? There we go. That's better.
Yeah. So
Oh man,
it's been
how's
a
it going?
week. Good. Good. How about you?
Oh, can't complain. I just changed the title of my show to "This is not a Star Wars live stream"
I
because I saw
almost put
somewhere else
I
that I
almost put
was
May
like,
the 4th in it. I almost did. Um,
"Justice."
he's not wrong. He's
We're
not
good.
wrong.
I'm gonna set that one back to live April 4th or something.
Which one back to live?
The your
Yeah, you still
what's it
have
called?
it? Is it just
Welcome
hidden?
to our live show with you and
Adam Miller.
Adam Miller.
Is it just hidden over on y'all's channel?
Yeah, I just said it's unlisted.
Okay. Yeah, that so for those of you that don't know, last recording, not last one, the one before that, for the podcast, I still had all the live features put in, and when I hit record, it just started recording or live streaming the first half of that podcast. So some of you got a sneak peek preview. I didn't even see chat, so I didn't know anything was going on. And of course, I had put my phone on do not disturb, so
Right, right.
had no idea, had no clue.
All right, let's take a look at this. Hey, Mark. Hello, floating sardines.
Oh yeah,
Searching for tone is here. Surfabilly guitar nine. That's a great long name. It's
yeah,
also funny to me how in the Riverside chat it just reduces people to whatever they put for their first name. So like
yeah,
the bad guitarist is just
yeah. I noticed
the.
that when I chimed in on the Dipped in Tone podcast. I'm sometimes in their chat
That's just 40.
when they're recording. It's just 40.
Yeah. What's weird is people are saying Steve on the left just looks wrong, but aren't I? I'm always on the left.
I don't know. Can
Am
I
I
can
not?
I change that? I don't know. Can I just did a thing. Let's see if it
Am I
swaps it.
not normally on the left?
I have no idea. I don't pay attention that closely. I don't know.
I
Let's
feel
see.
like I'm always
Big
on the left.
Fuzz Imp demo this week,
Oh, you know,
maybe.
I'm not on the left on the podcast. That's maybe that's what it is.
Weird. Well, you aren't now. I just moved you. At least on my side.
Yeah, tomorrow Justice Fuzzimp. Tomorrow's the new JHS gonna nuke the internet. I'm still in Hawaii for another day.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a fun product. It's cool, but I don't know if it's gonna blow up the internet the way the Nauticlon did. I'll
Yeah,
just say that.
I don't
I'll
think
leave
it
it at
will, but
that.
I think they'll sell every flipping one of them. And they've got 10,000 of them.
There's 10,000 of
So
them.
he posted a video on Friday talking about it, and he's like, "Here's the deal: we made 10,000 of these."
So you
I,
better buy one.
well, he said, and if those sell out, don't worry because they've got another 5,000 that they're going to post like a day or two later. So, but he said, but if all 15,000 sell out because they bought all of this stuff pre tariff, pre extra fees, all those things,
Right.
he's like, I don't know what that's going to mean after the first 15,000.
Gotcha. They flubbed it. What does that mean? They flubbed it.
I don't
Brian,
know.
what do you mean they flubbed it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get
We
caught up on the Michael. I bet it's a Legends of Fizz thing. If it is a
yeah.
Legends of Fuzz thing, I am in. If it's a Fuzz thing, I'm so on board for it.
No, it's not a fuzz thing. It's a fizz thing. It's gonna be it's like the Nauticlon, but it's gonna be the DoD. Was it the FX65? No, that's the
Oh yeah
Taurus.
yeah yeah.
What was the fuzz? Not the 52. the 66, the flashback fuzz. I think that's the one Ryan said is like the worst fuzz pedal he's ever played.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is it. Parts for 15,000. They've got parts for 15,000 currently.
Oh. Don't watch it on a TV if you don't want to know what it is. I'll still be there.
Okay. I don't quite follow that one, but that's okay. Steve, what's been up with you? What you got going on?
Not much. Not much at all. I've been real busy. I've been dealing with drama in my workplace.
Oh.
Because people just want to make drama for me.
I'm a huge drama fan as long as I'm not involved. I'm a big drama fan as long as I'm not involved.
JHS.
I like watching other people's drama.
The whole thing with what we've got going on is, oh, I think I understand. I think if you look at the thumbnail and you're like zoomed in on the thumbnail, maybe you can see what the name of it is on one of the parts. I think is what's searching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it?
No, we've just, we're like a lot of workplaces are our promotions are for a while our promotions were very fast. Like we had people getting promoted every like 6 to 8 months, and
Sure.
then that stopped, and now we've had people who have not been promoted in like 3-4 years, 3 years, something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Now arguably they're in positions that could be like lifetime positions.
Oh, okay. So
But
they're
the
like
problem
top of the hill for what they do, kind of thing.
but the problem is these people are like 30 and they are doing work above what they are, what like the baseline would be for their position. Like they're doing the next job above.
Sure.
Um and we just move real slow, but uh it's tough because in turn, what I've been told is the employed strategy has become, minimize communication outside, and then when things fall apart, be like, well, I would have taken care of that. It's like, well, yeah, but you weren't proactive in preventing it. So
Yeah. Okay.
anyway,
Yeah. Fun
also,
stuff.
I went to a client dinner on Wednesday. We had clients in town,
Okay.
and one of the guys at the table, so there was like two people from the client side, and 2, 3, 4, 5, I can count, guys, 7 of us from our side, so 9 total. And one of the guys from our side, who I've known for a very long time, goes like, hey man, are you still doing that guitar podcast thing or music podcast thing? And I was like, yeah. And then the guy sitting next to him was like, oh, what's that? And then my sight head was like, oh, you have a podcast? Like, and so then one of the guys pulls it up on his phone because like, oh, what's the name of it? Whatever. Pulls up on his phone, hits play on whatever the most recent episode is,
Oh no.
and starts passing it around the table. Um, so everybody can hear it. And then at the end of the thing, one of the guys goes, oh yeah, um I'm definitely going to check this out when I get this from the client side.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh man, I hope they're chill. I mean, the young guy, so probably
Yeah.
chill, but
Yeah.
it's just funny because I was just like, oh cool, like this part that like most people I work with don't necessarily know exists,
Yeah. Say,
or they
dude, it's the same for mine. I, you
or
know,
I think part of it is that they don't know what the breadth is. So I think most people, it's one of those running jokes that like, oh, everyone and their mom has a podcast.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, everyone and their mom has a podcast. Uh and maybe if you just go into your uh Apple podcast and you pull it up, like, and you don't look at the review count, I feel like for the the length of time the podcast has been going, we don't actually have that many reviews. Um,
Yeah. I don't
Snowball,
either.
exactly. I'm definitely going to flag this with HR. Um, the that's whatever. But if you were to just punch in on Google, I'm pretty sure, let's see, 60 cycle hum podcast. Yeah, you're going to see a YouTube channel with 152,000 subscribers, and you're going to be like, what the fuck is this guy doing in his spare time? Does he even work? Is he
Right.
just YouTubing all the time? And I'm going to have to be like, no, there's another guy. Let me explain to you how this all works. It's very complicated, and we say fuck a lot. Anyway,
Oh
man,
man,
how are
yeah.
you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. You got me looking at my own podcast reviews just to kind of. I haven't looked at them in a while.
Hmm.
I'm always curious what the star rating is. I'm at 4.6 on Apple, so some people haven't liked me lately. That's okay.
That's higher than ours. Ours is
Oh,
4.4.
oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
we got some I don't know. We got a lot of 1 stars.
Deal, really?
Yeah.
I wonder. I
Not
wonder why.
not lately. Like
Yeah, I can't really look at it as a lately thing. It only shows me
our last
the
one
total.
star was in December from TJ6643, who says, boring show, Orange Man bad.
Oh, yeah, see, I don't get a lot of actual reviews. This is just I think I only have a couple that aren't 5-star
Mm.
reviews, but just clicking the ratings, I've got some 3 and 4 stars that don't have any reviews tied to them. So I don't know what I did to tick them off. Client, I'm going to unsubscribe.
Yeah, Fuzzin, I do if I were to interview, I probably would like, oh, what do you do in your spare time? I'd talk about this. And actually, I recently applied to be on a game show that I don't know what the game show is, but it was like, oh, are you smart? Like, sign up for this. You should audition for this game show. So I did that, and it, on the thing that was like, what sets you apart from other people? I'm like, I'm a scientist and a podcaster.
Yeah.
I just have to know things professionally. It's my job. Because it's like, how do you just find that you're smart? Like, I didn't try super hard to like figure it out, like to come up with other things. So I was like, oh, that'll work. Yeah, if you want to support 60 Cycle Hum, go on to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. Let's get those numbers way, way up. 195 ratings over 11 years is not
No, it's
super
that's
great.
actually not a lot. Yeah, if you wanna support 40 Watt podcast, you can do the same thing for 40 Watt. I have 29 reviews over 4.5 years. So
Back in 2018, somebody said that Ryan drinks too much.
oh, I probably know the episode that's from.
Having to listen to Ryan borderline drunk and slurring has been too annoying lately. The latest episode, titled Worst Episode Ever, was really the worst one I've heard. Had to unsubscribe, at least for a while. I'll come back and give you guys another shot. And if it's improved, I'll certainly edit my review accordingly. Because in the general sense, this is a good podcast with good info. But dude, maybe lay off the booze a little. Makes it really difficult to listen to. Well, joke's on y'all. Ryan got diabetes since then and can't drink as much
Yeah.
anymore because that's not good
A
for your
colleague,
diabetes.
Snowball says a colleague nearly didn't get the job because HR Googled their name and found a picture of them balancing a beer bottle on their head.
Nice.
So actually that's a non-guitar related topic, but as someone who hires people
Yeah.
regularly, please Google search yourself and know what pops up when people search for you. Um and do it a couple of different ways, like your name in quotation marks with the city you live in, because that's how sometimes you have to search for people. Know what comes up
Yeah.
and know what
Yeah.
your social media shows. Big time. Need to know those things. So we're
Steve.
gonna go back. Steve, do we want to talk about this one?
Um,
The
yeah,
SM50.
so I don't actually know what's going on here.
So okay, so the SM57 is the Arizona T of the
Yeah.
microphone
Yeah. I
world.
know, like, the running joke about, like, the US should set its dollar valuation to the SM57 because the
Yeah,
value never changes.
and it's
Um
changed.
and
It's
the
gone
price,
up by
oh,
10%.
SM57, it was $99. It
Uh
is
huh.
now $109.
Yep.
Um And so we're saying that this is a tariff thing. That's
I think
the
that's the
assumption.
I think that's the only way to look at it. Tariff and or inflation. But inflation has never touched the SM57 before. I have a scan of a musician's friend catalog that a buddy of mine did. He's just bored. It's great. Thank you, Shane. Uh, but it's got all. It's really fun to go back and look at all the prices of things in
Mm-hmm.
2003, which
Mm-hmm.
is when this musician's friend catalog is from. $99.
In 2003.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it's been over 20 years at $99, and I don't know how far back this goes. It could go back into the 90s or even 80s for as far as I
Right.
know.
Right.
Um, the SM57 has been like a stalwart at a price point, and now it's gone up for the first time since I've been paying attention.
Someone should edit the Wikipedia page to include this change in pricing. I feel like that's important.
Steve, you know what a podcast is. Come on, Steve. And with that accent of yours, dude, you'd be popular as hell. Uh, this is sort of a podcast, but it's a live. It's a live podcast, sort of. Except it won't go out on podcast players.
It could if I downloaded it and stripped the audio.
Andrew, when I Google myself, the only other Andrew LeBion, I don't know if you wanted to say your name, but that exists shows up first because he's got a ton of felonies in Maryland. Yeah, you should definitely let people be aware that that's not you.
What year is this from? Check out our spring 1998 catalog. That's only
Oh,
one picture, you idiots.
that's not going to help.
Like, isn't the
Yeah.
cost? Yeah. So the apocrypha around the Costco hot dog is that suppose that the CEO whatever um was like they changed the board of directors or something. Apparently it's been $1.50 for a hot dog and a soda since 1984,
Whoa.
according to Google AI, which may or may not be true.
True. Yeah.
Um, yep. Wikipedia also says 1984. Sam's Club does a hot dog and soda apparently for $1.38, but I'm sure it's not as good.
I don't know. Southerners know a thing or two about hot dogs.
So the story was that the Costco co-founder, I think he like retired, and so there was a new CEO, and this new CEO floated the idea of like, well, this is just a loss leader. Maybe we can afford to increase the price a little bit. And the story, and again, from what I've read, this has been debunked, but it was a great story. That the CEO or the founder told the CEO, if you change the price of the hot dog, I will break into your house and murder you in your sleep.
What?
That is the story. Now, is it true? I've heard it's not true.
Who knows?
But it's in a Mental Floss article. If you raise the price of the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out, is the quote.
Floating sardines. 84, you're telling me that the Costco hot dog's been the same price, double my age? That is exactly, for almost my entire life, the Costco hot dog has been the same price. Amanda, we're a new hot dog podcast.
Yeah,
So,
dude, I didn't have breakfast.
oh no, I had a protein bar that
I
barely
could go for a
counts.
hot dog right now.
Yeah.
A Costco
So,
hot dog specifically, not like just a. I do have some. No, I cooked all my hot salt like red hot. What are they like the Evergood Louisiana
oh yeah, those
red
things.
whatever. Hot
I
links. That's what
hot
they're called.
links.
Hot
I hate
links.
those things. I they
Really?
Well, I guess, looking at the ones I'm looking at, they're not what I think of when I think of hot links because, like, uh,
What do you think of?
there's a couple of different brands that do like the red hot dogs, and they look so unnatural that I can't stand them.
Oh,
So
the Barrow or whatever, the cheap ones.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, exactly. The cheap ones. I can't eat them. They look disgusting. I can't handle it.
yeah, these ones. Oh, this this Reddit review says the ever good hot link sausages are absolutely atrocious. I couldn't even finish one. They tasted like it had the texture of actual rubber bands. I'm like, did you cook it? You're supposed to like cook it, right?
Floating sardines. I need to move to a place that has Costco at this point. I could live off from this alone in hard times. Yeah.
I have heard there every once in a while there's someone will make a video that's like I ate Costco hot dogs for 2 weeks. Here's what happened, kind of a thing.
Oh yeah.
Um
It's sort of like that supersize me. I ate nothing
yeah.
but McDonald's for 30 days.
The last one I saw was a dude ate nothing but like he basically ate Costco hot dogs 3 times a day for like 2 weeks, and I think he said he lost like 5 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Because it's dude, at the end of the day, like your whole whatever like health, are you getting the right nutrients, whatever, is one thing, but at the end of the day, like it's the super size me. Have you read the debunking of the super size me thing?
Yeah, yeah.
It's all fucking fake.
Yeah,
Morgan
yeah.
Spurlock was an alcoholic. His whole like my liver's failing because I ate McDonald's. No, your liver's failing because you were drinking a fifth a day for a month, bro. Like,
Right.
come on. Um, and there's a dude in Kansas State University who went on a Twinkie diet where like he ate nothing but like Twinkies for a month or something, and he lost like 20 pounds.
Ooh.
I'm fucking those numbers up, but
Yeah, yeah. But I get the
um
point. I get the point.
because basically what it came down to, and this he's a professor, it's not like a guy just messing around. He did 10 weeks, 10 weeks of what he called the junk food, or they call it the Twinkie diet. And basically he called it the convenience store diet. But what it came down to is that he was only consuming about 1,800 calories a day, down from a baseline of 26. So he
Yeah.
lost 27 pounds in 2 months. And his diet was things you could buy in a convenience store. So it says 2/3 of his total caloric intake came from junk food. He took a multivitamin pill and drank a protein shake, and then he would either eat a can of green beans or some celery. So that was his vegetable input, was like a
Oh
can
my,
of green
no.
beans.
No, absolutely not then. I love this. I ate Costco hot dogs for 2 weeks. My doctor gave me 2 weeks to live. Or Steve, vegan hot dogs and real hot dogs contain exactly the same amount of meat.
Those because those Bad Guitarist was talking about the what's the brand, Field Mark or whatever. Those
Yeah,
ones are
yeah.
pretty good. Field Roast.
Field roast. So Jacob, if someone does a supersize me, but with Taco Bell, I'll be in trouble. So I'll tell you something interesting about Taco Bell that went way under the radar, and I don't know if this is still the case because this data is a little
They're
old.
the healthiest fast food.
They are the healthiest fast food restaurant.
I think they were supplanted by Del Taco.
Oh, that's possible. But those aren't over here in the southeast, so we don't.
Mm-hmm.
We there's like one Del Taco. Actually, it's in Tuscaloosa. That's the closest one for me. That's an hour and 45 minutes away. Um, but Taco Bell had the reputation, the basically dog food grade meat and
Yeah,
blah blah blah
yeah.
that it had. They actually hired a nutritionist to completely revamp their menu, change their ingredients. You remember the Fresco line, which is
I was
still
gonna
an
say it's
option.
because they have the Fresco line, or
Yeah, and
Fresco line.
they changed they changed the meat they use. They changed a ton of things about their
Right.
entire menu, and then they just never advertised it. They
Yeah.
Because they knew no one would take them seriously if they advertised going healthy. So they just changed everything, made it healthier, and said, "All right, that's it. We've done good." And it turns out they are. They're the healthiest fast food restaurant that's at least fully
Yeah.
nationwide.
Michael says, "I've yet to find a good vegan hot dog. What I recommend if you're interested in it, one hot dog. There, you have a point there. But I would say the Trader Joe's soy chorizo is pretty damn good.
Hmm.
It's worth picking up. But anyway,
Yeah,
we
let's
finally
go to
have a gear
guitar.
we have a gear question. Floating sardines. Me being curious, what was it like to start guitar during your times? What I guess I don't know is what it's like to start guitar now. Like if you are a beginner
Yeah.
guitarist now, what's your first piece of gear? I can say that I borrowed like I would probably so my first guitar is kind of weird. My first guitar is a Jag Stang.
Which you still have.
Sorry, my first electric guitar. My first guitar was this Harmony right here,
Mm.
uh, which is like barely playable. You can play
Still
like
very
for
rad first
everything in the
guitar.
first position. Um, and then I got an acoustic guitar that's lives in one of those cases back there. This case, that one right there. Um, but electric guitar wise, I mean, you didn't. I don't really feel like you had effects overload, but I didn't really think about effects starting out. I had a Crate GFX 15, Crate, a brand that doesn't exist anymore. It's been shelved by what?
Tempache.
What? Oh, apparently their website still exists, but I don't know why. Like, why does this website exist?
If they don't, it does still exist.
I I'm so confused, but it looks like what the? It looks like it's when you click on it, it goes to Bed Bath and Beyond website.
No,
What
crate-amplifiers.com.
is this not a Crate website? It's not a, maybe that's not actually the Crate website.
Yeah, I don't know. Man,
Um, but anyway, they've been shelved by St. Louis Music for years. Does St. Louis Music still exist? I think they do.
I think they do, but don't quote me on that because
Uh,
they sold off Ampeg to Yamaha.
yeah, but they in 2015 they acquired EK Blessing in Hamilton. They acquired Alvarez in 2018. Do they still own Alvarez?
Oh, I think they do actually.
So they do have an official website, St. Louis Music, our brands.
Yeah,
Alvarez, Austin. You know, didn't we talk about this
we
like
did. We talked about this a
recently?
couple
I
of
remember
live
looking at
streams
this
ago.
website. But anyway, Crate's been like permanently shelved, and I think that uh those kinds of brands, I don't know what the equivalent to like a Crate piece of shit amp is anymore. Like
I do.
Line
It's
Six
the
Spider.
Boss Katana.
The Yeah, oh my god, the boss there's no the boss katana's in another fucking
Yeah,
planet
but it's in the
universe.
same price point. It
Yeah,
serves the
yeah.
same role as here's your first amplifier. You may never need to outgrow it.
I will say, like my Crate GFX 15, which my sister blew up, Ryan did blow up a boss katana. So
Oh, that's right, he did.
there is maybe something there.
Yeah, so I think that's the case. I think today, like that first amp is one of like the Boss Katanas or a Line 6 Catalyst, which are way better than the first amps I had when I started playing in 1999, 26 years ago. Oh. My first guitar was a Jackson import that I bought at a pawn shop
Mm-hmm.
with a Floyd Rose on it. Um, my very first amplifier, which I barely count because it didn't last a month, was a Martin Stinger. Like it was
Yeah.
basically crate quality, about probably below crate. And then I got a PV Audition Chorus, which is a 2x8 amplifier with stereo chorus. So
Well, you're saying there was a Martin Stinger amp?
yeah,
Weird. I know they made guitars. I didn't realize there was also an amp called the Stinger. I'm
yeah.
seeing it. I don't know if that's actually related to Martin.
It may not be at all, but it said Martin on it.
Oh,
Um,
weird. So
Martin,
maybe it
yeah,
did.
Stinger,
Maybe it
Martin
was.
Guitar Company. Here's one. Um, this isn't exactly like mine. Oh, we're gonna see if I can share a screen. Um, uh, allow. Here we go. We're gonna share this. There we go. Oh, I got to get rid of the. There we go. Hide this. There you go.
Does it
Martin
say
Stinger
does it say Martin on the
FX3RC.
back?
I think so. It must.
Gotcha.
Let me see if there's a picture of the back. The
There it
Martin
is, the
Guitar
Martin
Company.
Guitar Company.
Yep. So,
What
tube synth pedal. What?
the?
I'm sorry. What? Yeah. So this one's a little fancier than the one I had, but it's the same basic concept.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
get the idea.
there's so much like searching for tones talking about the Digitech RP7. I think that was Digitech, right?
Oh yeah.
You had all of those little like Digitech made a ton of these guitar multi effects, some varying quality with the old wacky DoD switches on them. Those are the old weird DoD switches. Um, this whole thing. Um, yeah, Andrew says my first guitar amp was a shitty mixer wired into an 80s radio with a giant wood panel speaker. I definitely had a home one of those like CD cassette AM FM radios with a microphone in,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely plugged a guitar into one of those at least once.
My so after the Martin and after the Stinger and after the Peavey, which I still kind of consider the Peavey my first amp because it's the one that actually worked the entire time I owned it. It didn't just basically not work. Um, but after that, I bought my first vintage tube amp and I've never looked back. So I bought a 69 Fender Bandmaster Reverb. And
Yeah,
so I
it's
used that in a home built 1x15 cabinet.
oh nice.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so,
I bought a tube radio that was like kind of set up for guitar, but not really that good.
mm,
Uh, and you'd plug it in, and you get like output, but it was like really quiet.
yeah, because it didn't have the
Uh,
preamp you needed.
it had like 4 channels that you could plug into, and they all had different issues.
I want a tube radio. I just want one that works, like just as a radio.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be
No,
rad.
didn't work. It wasn't like a radio. It was because it didn't have the actual radio part. I guess it was a radio amplifier.
Okay, I
Um,
got you. Didn't have the tuner in it. It was just the receiver, a tube receiver.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Because if you had a tube receiver, then it was expecting to get the preamp from the radio and the preamp from the phonograph and the preamp from the tape deck and all those things.
yeah. It was the equivalent to like a Bell Sound sort of a thing. Is it Bell Sound? I think is the brand I'm thinking of,
Oh
or
yeah.
Bell and Howell,
Oh yeah,
or
that's the projector amps that
different
everybody loves.
all these different. Well, this one I don't think it was a projector amp, but same idea. Oh, is
Yeah.
this actually?
I refuse to believe that 99 was 26 years ago. I know. I know. That's what I tell people when they see all this gear, right? I've been flipping and buying guitar gear for 26 years. You end up with a lot of stuff. Right. Oh, and but Justice has a point. A sub $300 guitar used to basically be crap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
When I remember getting it. Not I wouldn't say fights. You know, I'm not getting in
yeah,
fights with anybody. But getting into it with people about um the whether or not the Squire standard line, which was like 249, whether or not those guitars were good.
yeah, yeah.
Because I
No,
would always argue like, well, this like once you get to the stand, like the affinities were just junk
complete garbage.
back in the day. But I
And
was like, oh, the standards aren't too bad. The
and a
standards
lot
are
of people forget
playable.
there was something below affinity.
What, the Bullet?
The Starcaster.
Oh, I don't. But the Starcaster's a Fender product. It's not a Squire.
No, no, yes, it was. It was actually the brand name on it was Starcaster by Squire.
No, it's Starcaster by Fender.
Oh,
Maybe
now we're both.
unless they did more than one. It's possible they did more than one. But
Maybe.
I definitely remember the ones in Walmart and Costco being Starcaster by Fender.
Oh, maybe they were.
They even have a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to Starcaster by
Are
Fender
you serious?
2001 to 2014.
Ooh. I had one that
It
someone
it
gave me, and I couldn't get rid of it fast enough.
it did come with a Squire amp,
Oh, okay.
a Squire SP10.
I couldn't give that thing away, man.
I believe it.
Um, Here's a couple of comments we want to talk about. I want to talk about this one. A Ace Cyprium. Princeton 2. I'm assuming you mean the Roman numeral 2, or do you mean the Arabic numeral 2? If you mean the Roman numeral 2, I traded in my Bandmaster Reverb for a Princeton Reverb 2, and it was a great amplifier. I've had in that series the Princeton, the Twin, the Deluxe. That may be all that I've had in that series over the years.
I'm not
All
sure if
those
I've.
are all Riviera Mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were all designed
Yeah.
by him. It was Fender trying to compete with Mesa Boogie because they
Right.
all had a second channel. They were all kind of hot rodded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, was the amp choices in the day was solid state that bad in the budget range? Yeah, it was so bad. But also, a decent tube amp was dirt cheap. I bought my Bandmaster Reverb for $450.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I think $450 when you're 16, 17 years old, like that's a thought process. And then you're like, I'm gonna bring this into my space. You're talking about a bandmaster. Like, where the hell are you gonna put a bandmaster in a 10 by 10 room?
Yeah.
You're buying a head. You're now
Well,
you
that's actually why I got the Princeton 2 because I went to college and I did not have room in the dorm room
yeah.
for the Bandmaster Reverb 2.
You're
I
gonna
had
spend $400 on a bandmaster head, and now you're gonna have to spend another $200 on a cabinet.
yeah. But I mean that combo cost me. I think I traded even for that combo. So
Yeah.
back then people would still pay money for big amps too. So
Yeah, Steve Siegel says I gig with a Hot Rod Deluxe. That was was that my first tube amp? I think that was my first tube amp, the Hot Rod
yeah.
Deluxe.
I've had a couple of them. My sister has ended up with both of them.
Yeah.
So
And to Fuzzim's point, it was usually that the stock speakers and the cheap amps were pretty bad. I plugged that Crate GFX into a Mesa Boogie 4x12, and
yeah,
it wasn't loud, but it sounded pretty good.
sounded better at least.
Yeah.
I still
Um,
contend that then and now the PV Bandit is underrated.
oh yeah, for sure. Bad Guitarist, the Frontman 65 and 212R weren't terrible. There was an article in some magazine. I want to say Premier Guitar, but it might have not been Premier Guitar. That was about how to get Stevie Ray Vaughan's tone on a budget. And the recommendation in that article was to buy two Fender Frontman 2x12s.
What?
Yep. I'm
I
pretty sure it
mean,
was.
I can't deny it, but I'm trying to find this scan of the musician's friend. I feel like that might be a
Mm,
fun thing to sort of die the way we're going. Um, let's see. I'm gonna find it.
yeah, I don't know where. For the life of me, I wouldn't be able to figure out where I saw that article. But I know a lot of people because the Fender Frontman was just loud and
Okay, it's not
neutral.
it's not the entire catalog. So
It's wild to me that PRS used to be a call for price brand.
yeah, you couldn't find out how much they actually sold for um unless you actually called and talked to them. They weren't allowed to advertise the price.
Yeah.
Um this was so in 2003 Fender S1 switching came out. American Deluxe Stratocaster $999.
Yeah, which that's probably what the equivalent to uh the
What's just
Ultra now?
maybe or maybe just below Ultra but just above American Pro, I don't know. Um, yeah, because the American Pro is the American series, right? That's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent.
Yeah, so
So
your whatever your American standard is on here, that's the Pro 2. That's the
yeah.
current Pro 2.
So standard telly, $350. That's the classic player right there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
essentially.
That
And
is
then the
well,
best
now
guitar
it's
Fender made
now
at
it's
that
the
point.
standard because the standard's back.
Yeah, but made in Mexico. But the best deal in this entire catalog is the Highway 1 Telecaster at
Yeah.
$599.
I never got along with those because they only have 21 frets.
Oh, see, I don't need more than 21 frets. There's no money up there.
It just looked weird to me.
Yeah, I would have every one of the Highway 1 series of instruments if I could. They're all very, very, very good. Oh, and the
Mm-hmm.
original Strat acoustic.
No, that's the second Stratoacoustic.
Oh, is that the
Oh no,
second
no,
one?
okay, sorry. I'm looking at the Acoustasonic
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Stratocaster. I'm
No,
looking at
not
the
this
one
one.
below.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is the original. Those things were, oh my god, they were so
yeah,
bad.
and then the Acoustasonic. I can't see the chat, y'all, if y'all are going off about this, but
Well, the
um,
problem is the goddamn Riverside doesn't scroll the chat.
I know
A
it doesn't have to scroll the hard way.
Cyprian wants to know what year this is from.
2003.
Yeah.
This is 2003. And there's your Jag Stang for 530.
Yeah, yeah, which is cheaper than I think they originally were in 1996, actually. I think
Wow.
in 1996 they were 630.
I remember thinking that these signature editions at $1,300, $1,400, I remember thinking, who in their right mind pays
Oh yeah,
$1,300 for a
yeah,
guitar?
yeah. Or like that 62 Jazzmaster, I think is
Yeah.
Japan. Like that was pretty much the only Japanese imports at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess all of the offsets because well 2003. I'm not sure if the Jagstang production had moved to Mexico by 2003. It might have still been in Japan. Um,
$350 in '03 is $608 now.
yeah. Hi, Joe. Oh, also hi, Amanda. And who else has come in?
Yeah, we've
Teledriver,
we've just been kind of talking.
Self Toast.
Oh, there's the Affinity for $170.
Yeah. What's
You,
an
you,
Affinity now?
that's a good question. I have no idea.
Is that Affinity Telecaster? I think they're like 300. 349. Good Lord. So the cost of an Affinity now is what a classic Vibe cost 15 years ago. Which is
Yeah.
wild.
So now we're into the Gibsons. Gibson Les Paul Standard with a 60s neck, $1,850.
Yeah. So really, when you think about that, like, what are they now? 25?
They range between 26 and 28, depending on finish.
Let's see. Where's just a standard 60s double? I don't care
Yeah,
about. I
standard
don't.
60s with a plain top in ebony is $2,600.
Yeah, here we go. Gibson Les Paul standard 60s Bourbon Burst 2800.
Yep, because you got
So
the transparent finish.
so when you think about it from like a percentage standpoint, the price of a Les Paul standard has gone up less than there's a plain top ebony 26 has gone up less than the Fender stuff.
Yeah, so adjusted for inflation, um, let's see, what is that? Is that 1900? I'm in a different tab. 1850. 1850. We're gonna put this into a calculator. Starting gear. No, we don't want it that far back. 3.
Are the widows being sold? So sorry, as you calculate that.
You're good. That's, by the way, that's over $3,200
Excuse me.
today. So adjusted for inflation, Gibson prices have gone down.
Right. I'm looking at this Indigo Burst. Who called that out? Steve. Check out Epiphone's new Les Paul Widow. The Indigo Burst is visually stunning. Gotta buy it. It is. I don't really understand the whole Widow thing.
I
I didn't even know these existed until Firefly started cloning them.
Yep, exactly. 100%.
Um I don't know that. I know there's some kind of history with these things being made in Japan, as the Gibson Widows, or like they were maybe they weren't made in Japan, but they
Mhm.
were. It's like a Gibson product that was like a Japanese domestic market product. I don't really know what the point of them is.
So I love this.
Eight
I'm
hundred
looking at
dollars.
Epiphone prices now.
Yeah,
So if you look at Epiphone prices, I'm looking on Sweetwater here real quick. Um, an Epiphone Les Paul Standard today goes for
I
um
think 800.
they go for 600. That's a weird. Oh, that must be like a demo. Yep, that's a demo savings. So $650.
Yeah,
Um, Epiphone Les Paul Classic, Les Paul Standard went for $600 in 2003. So it's $150 more today
right.
with a better headstock.
You got to pay that premium for the headstock.
But I love this. Everybody complains about the $1,000 Epiphones. Look at this elitist Les Paul Standard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Those are killer guitars.
They are really, really good
They
guitars.
were, because those were legitimately like Gibson quality. Because
Oh
those
God.
are Japanese Epiphones.
Yeah. Do you remember
Oh, I
these?
forgot about those horrific nightmares.
The and then the Wolfgang. Back when PV was still listed in major brand and major sellers.
Yeah.
I guess technically PV. I think PV is on Sweetwater, but
Oh, hello, Hugh.
what's up, yo?
Uh, yeah, the PV, all of the when they started it, they use all the same names, but now they're all imported.
A Cyprium, I love how you said that this someone had the foresight to scan these catalogs. No, they didn't. He scanned this earlier this year. He found it and decided to scan it. It's my buddy Shane who has Hammond Tone Works. He does like pedal kits and PC board design. He's here in Mississippi. I built one of his kits, but he decided to scan this and just to have it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really fascinating to go back and look at the prices from this.
Oh, can you go back up to the Ibanez stuff? I'm looking for an
Yeah,
AF 105, which is a
AF.
art core, so it's going to be on the next
Go to the next
page.
page.
If it existed at this
It
time,
may not. Got AF
75.
85s and
Yeah.
75s, no 105s.
Somebody on in the 60 cycle hum group was talking about the AF 105 and how they were trying to figure out why the prices have gone down on the used market. They're like, "Oh, this
Oh,
was new in 2005 for like they said like $900, but I could only find them for like 700." Joe, absolutely shopping with our eyes. So I used to do this thing. Um I used to do this thing where uh where I would get these catalogs and I would just go to the guitar relevant sections. Sometimes I would do it for all the sections, but mostly the guitar relevant sections, guitar, bass, amps, whatever. And I would just pick my favorite thing on every page.
yeah.
Every
Oh, yeah.
page.
I did that too.
So like
Absolutely did that.
so like this page that you have right now, absolutely would be the Deluxe EC 1000 for me.
Oh, really? See, for
Yeah.
me on this page, if I had to pick something here, actually, Steve, I'm going to tell you something about me that you didn't know. I
Are you a big George
loved,
Lynch fan?
I loved these F-250s.
Oh, I can't hang with the weird pointy, they
I
want to be pointy
I
everywhere
loved this body style for some reason, but in
because you're
hindsight,
gross.
it should have been this Kirk Hammett. It should have been the Hammett signature. I hate these the EC 1000s, EC 400s. Something about them bothers me.
They're just Les Pauls, Philip.
Uh, Here you go.
Philip.
The Axe 350. This axe is made for cutting. It features a stylized vampire body design. Come on.
Speaking of vampire cutting designs, there is I don't have time to chase it down, but I saw somebody list a BC Rich in a coffin case for $100
Oh, what is this?
yesterday.
1996? Whew. Let's see. I don't know how far this goes, by the way. I don't know where we stop. Oh man.
It looks
Look
like
at
you're just going to keep going. You're only halfway through the scroll.
look at this double 612 string.
Where, where am I not? Oh,
Look at
I've
this
never. Oh,
thing.
that's a Burns. Yeah, checks out. That feels very Burns.
I want one.
Is 2003 considered old?
Yes, Joe. 2003 is considered old. Okay, so here's one in the UK. Here's one in Australia. There's not one in the US, and they're like $1,200 to $1,400. So I will not be getting one, but I think they're very rad. Look at these Gretsch prices.
Are all the Gretsch prices basically unchanged?
I man, I don't know.
I haven't priced a 6 Series Gretsch in forever.
Me either. I know my White Falcon behind me is it retails for 3,500.
Oh,
So
okay. So all these price. Well, go back up though, because that's the Setzer signature's 3260 here. The Setzer signature now is 3600.
wow.
Let's see. Is there what's the 62? The Nashville. I'm not seeing the Nashville because so much of the Gretsch stuff, the 6120s, there's so many freaking signature this, signature that.
Yeah, look, all of these are 6120s except this one that's a 6119.
It
So
looks like most of the prices are up about 10%, which is pretty wild.
Rickenbacker was also call for price.
Yeah, they are still call for price.
Yeah, but look at $1,500 list back then.
Yeah. Which one was the 6119?
That is the Tennessee Rose.
Okay, so the Tennessee Rose is now 2600.
Okay, so yeah, that's
So
that's up significantly.
their prices have not changed.
No, it's up, but like 21, 22 years. That's not that bad. Oh, here we go. Wait, first of all, Parker,
Yeah,
just in
Parker.
general. Then the early Variax models.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go down. We're in pedal territory now. Let's look at this.
Do they even have the list? I'm trying to see if they even show the list pricing anymore on Sweetwater for the Rickenbackers. I don't think they do.
Hugh was musician's friend and a vintage of Guitar Center in '03.
I think so.
I think so. I think it still is, isn't it? I'm glad you're doing all the current price looking because I can't jump tabs fast enough.
Yeah. Musician's friend. Let's see. Musician's friend was acquired in 2000.
Okay. So yeah. So here we go. Floating sardines. Call for price sounds atrocious to deal with. That was the way manufacturers did it and still do it for some things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forget that Gibson that Guitar Center is owned by Aries Management. We talked about that before because
Yeah.
I own
Stock in
Guitar
Aries
Center.
Management. Yeah, you do. So let's look at this. What's a DS1 go for now? It was on sale for $49.99.
It was always on sale.
What's a DS1 now?
I feel like I should look at musiciansfriend.com just
Oh yeah, just go
just to
apples to
match up.
apples.
Instead of Sweetwater, even though, well, it doesn't really matter. We're not posting affiliate links. DS1 is $69.99.
So it's gone up $10.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so that one's of course this was the DD20. This is the early platinum payments of $15 a month. Hear many of these pedals online. Oh man. DL4. Bestseller. I this is just wild going back and looking at these because this is like core memory unlocked for me.
Oh, the Behringer. Wasn't somebody on your show hyping up the Behringer V amp stuff?
I think somebody was, but man, I forget what we talk about as soon as we hit stop. So, um, I've had people come back to me to make a comment on an episode from like 3.5 years ago. I'm like, I have no idea what we said. I don't remember this. You got to remember, you just heard it. I said it a long, long time ago,
Right,
many
right.
sleeps ago.
I've been listening. I just finished up the Joe is it Halliday? Well,
Yeah, yeah.
the
From
Hello
Hello Sailor.
Sailor. I I have I have thoughts.
I love Joe, man.
um I just wish he'd fucking hire a graphic designer.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Hey, we can
Like
recommend that.
I'm like, dude, you're I want to why it's it's a vibe
Yeah,
that I'm just not
100%.
here for.
100%. Do you remember the guitar port?
Yeah. And
Oh
actually
man.
I have a UX2 in a box somewhere.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if I think because you're in the effects section, it's not going to be there because the
Oh yeah, yeah.
UX2 is um yeah, Pod Studio UX2. I have the red version, so not the one that's uh that immediately came up.
I
I used it
so
once or twice.
the rack unit Echoplex Digital Pro Plus
Oh,
Valhalla
weird.
for loopers and delay fiends. Convenient 19-inch rack mount unit. Are rack mount units convenient? Because
Uh, no,
I
maybe.
mean, because I have this. I got this week. This is a Digitech RPM1. Um,
Okay.
it's a rotary that's actually meant for organ but can work for guitar. It's tube driven. This is not convenient.
Well, it's because you don't have a rack.
I do. I've got a couple. I just don't use them because they're not convenient. Okay. Moving on. We're gonna get
Hold
through
on.
this because
Floating
now we're
Sardine
pissed.
says Big Muff used to be $80. I mean, it's the is that the big? I assume that's the big box
Yeah,
was 80.
big.
Yeah, so now it's $101. But you can get the Nano Big Muff, which is probably gonna
It's
do
yeah.
what you want to do
How much was the
for
black Big Muff pie
87.
though? Is that still even made?
It's not made, I
Yeah.
don't think. Oh no, oh that's used. This is a problem with Musician's Friend is it shows both the new
Oh.
and I mean I could probably set it to only show new. Um but yeah, they don't make the black the Big Muff pie because there's Big Muff pie and then the USA Big Muff.
There is a Big Muff Pie V8 Black Russian modded for 9 volt from 2007 on Reverb in Mississippi actually for $160.
And it's not that the sailor tattoo style isn't a thing, it's that they all look like they're just stickers that are printed out and slapped on a pedal.
Well, that's because that kind of is how that works at this point because when sailors got tattoos, they weren't great tattoos.
So
My grandfather was a sailor. He didn't have great tattoos.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Um, let's see. Let's scroll down. Let's see what else we can find that's interesting. Of course, the old home plate shaped uh visual sound pedals. The MXR M151 double shot distortion. Man, that thing was $130. Then there's a whole section for tuners. Oh my god,
All three of them?
there was a coffin case for your amp.
That seems like not ideal.
Pedal board
And a
coffin
pedal
case.
board?
Yeah.
Yeah, that there's a like I was saying earlier, there's a BC Rich Platinum Warlock in Riverside, so about maybe half an hour from me, in in an ABS plastic coffin case for $100. It went up last night.
Why have you not gotten it yet?
Because it went up last night, Philip.
I don't care.
Oh, well, I mean, because I'm here talking to you.
Have you at least sent him a message?
No,
See, you're not even
because I'm
trying.
not gonna have time to get up there until Monday.
Oh man, talk about bad solid state
Oh
amps.
my god, do they still did they finally kill this line?
I hope so. MG series. That was atrocious.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah. I'm really sad how much fun I'm having doing this. Um so I'm so sorry y'all if you're watching this and you're like this is awful. I'm having a blast. Um we're getting close to the end cuz we're in amps now.
I don't know
Here's
if you're getting close to the end. You're only 2/3 of the way down the
I
scroll.
know we got to figure it out. I don't really care that much about Marshall amps. Randall amps. Here's some Ibanez tone blasters.
Gross.
I know, like
The
all of
Iban
this.
the Ibanez, like there was just so much budget ass solid state in this time,
And it
and
was
like
so bad.
not a good way.
No, it just wasn't
Um,
good. You could get a 5150 head and cab for like $1,600.
head and cab 5153 is $2,600 now.
Whew. That's because it's not even made by PV.
Yeah,
That's the
that's the
EVH
Fender.
brand.
Oh right. So what's
Yeah,
the 65? Is the 6505
6505.
even made?
Yeah, they still
There
make
it
that.
is. 6505, the 6505 original,
Yeah,
or I guess it's now they call it the 6505 1992
yeah.
is $1,700.
Good. That the head alone is more than the head and cab then.
Yeah.
So then the classic 30.
The cab is $1,000.
Yeah, the cab here is $600. So significant increase. What's that? 66% increase?
Yeah,
Went up by $400.
about, yeah.
Cyber series, the Cyber Champ Deluxe and Cyber Twin.
I remember those.
Me too.
Those were cool-ish, but they felt, this has always been a problem with a lot of these like fancy pants whatever things, is that because they were mechanical knobs that you could turn, but like
Mm-hmm.
they they've just felt so bad to turn. Like they just felt gritty and not smooth, and it just made you not want to deal with it.
Yeah, 100%. I've played a couple of them because they came in the secondhand shop I used to hang in out in.
Mm-hmm.
There was always something that did not work.
Yeah.
Um, Scrolling down, here's the Hot Rod Deluxe. Here you go. The blonde Hot Rod Deluxe was $600.
And these are not these were finally with this is a thing that actually interestingly has not been just I feel like has not been talked about much. Oh, the Hot Rod Deluxe is still around. Never mind.
Yeah,
But
it's still here.
they're
Yeah,
$1,000.
they are.
The
Another
div
That's another 66% increase since
Yeah.
2003.
I think it's the DeVille. They only make the 2x12 now. I
They
don't
don't
think
make
they
the
make
410 anymore.
they don't make the 410 anymore. Uh the DeVille 212 is $1,200.
If I knew what I know now back then, I'd have been buying a Pro Junior every other month just to stockpile. If only I knew how good those were as amplifiers.
They are Pro Junior is $650 now.
Mm. Yeah, too much money.
So
I had one of these blonde Blues Juniors. Gigged it a little bit. It was fine. It was okay. Then there's this twin custom with a 15-inch.
yeah, do
Let's
they still
see.
make those? Or do they just bring that back every once in a while?
I think they just bring it back every once in a while.
Yeah, they do not have. They've got some used ones. Including one there's a used one for $850.
Oh my gosh. That's good. I'll take
It's
that.
in good condition. The picture is not fantastic. Oh, I don't why is it listed in good? What's wrong with it? It looks
Please
fine.
don't, Michael, please don't browse the cables. And yeah, Wall of Pro Juniors. So when I saw,
Wall of Pro Juniors.
Steve, do you remember the band Rooney?
Yeah, I
Yes.
listened to that album like a few weeks ago.
Oh, so I went and saw them live when I was in LA back in like 2004, right?
Hmm.
And it was when the guitarist from Rooney was dating the guitarist from the Donnas, and so she came out and played some songs with them. And they made a DVD of it, so you can see the experience I had. It's all
Oh,
I have it.
hooray!
But the lead singer, I think it's the lead singer. I don't think it was just the guitarist. I think the lead singer played through 4 Pro Juniors. Like he had a rack case that held all 4 of them, and he played through all 4 at once. And it sounded great.
Was it Are you talking? Is it Robert Schwartzman you're talking about, or
I never knew the names.
the other? Do we talk about? Do they talk about this guy's? Was it the famous one or the other guy in Rooney?
I
That's
didn't know
really
there were differing ones.
well. So the frontman for Rooney is a fucking Coppola.
Oh, is it
He's
really?
Nick Cage's cousin.
I did not know that.
He's Jason Schwartzman's brother.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know any of this.
yeah. So the frontman for Rooney. Also, he was in the Princess Diaries. He's the love
I've
interest in the
never seen
princess
it.
in the first Princess. You never saw the Princess Diaries, Philip?
I've never
We're ending
seen,
this live stream right now. You're gonna
I've
go
never,
watch the Princess Diaries.
I've never seen the Princess Diaries.
Yeah, he
Um,
basically plays himself in that movie. Um,
yeah, Ace Cyprium, that first CD that I can't remember the title of. Yes,
I
is
think it was
absolutely
called. I think it was
complete.
just called Rooney.
It might be. I have that. I have that album somewhere around here. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the DVD. That's what I'm gonna watch today. Screw Princess Diaries. I don't need to watch that.
He was also in the Virgin Suicides, which you should also watch if you
Oh,
haven't seen it. If
haven't
you
seen
haven't
that
seen the
either.
Virgin Suicides, you should watch the Virgin Suicides. It's
I have.
excellent.
I'm just not a movie person.
The
I
Virgin
like movies. I just don't watch them.
the Virgin Suicides is basically it's the bell jar adjacent.
Gotcha.
So,
Getting
and I
through
think
this.
I think the soundtrack was all done by the band Air.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Not to be confused with Air Supply.
Not Air Supply. Air. Very different band.
Yeah.
Looking through here, just scanning through. Got some Behringer. You got some crate stuff. You got the pig nose.
Yep.
The new trainer amps when they came out. I had one of those as well at one point. Um, Skipping through. Do you remember when Elisa's tried to do amplifiers?
Oh, I forgot about those.
There's a reason you forgot about it. Moving on. Rogue, which was the house brand for Musician's Friend.
Rogue, which is I don't quite understand the timeline for that because Rogue also used to be Rogue by Squire at one point.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
see, it's
seen those
weird.
I've actually seen those guitars, or maybe it was like the effects or something, but Rogue was like a budget of a budget brand. Hands-on product review, line 6 Spider 212. Awesome.
Let's see. I'm looking back at some of the comments here, just trying to catch up. Um Hayden Christensen was on Virgin Killers.
What?
What if Air Supply had a cover band named Oxygen Tank?
Oh my
god. And yes, hey, it's the Line 6 Spider. Yes, it is. Spider 2. More power, more amp models, better effects, bolder looks, and more.
Oh yeah, he was weird. I did not remember that.
I would not have known.
What is he? Who is he in this?
So, Steve, now that we're here, the Spider is absolutely the analog to the Boss Katana now. Look at these prices.
Yeah. No, it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just sucked.
It just sucked. The Flex Tone series. These, I'll be honest, these gold tone combos looked rad from Gibson. They were not great amps.
Really, you didn't like them? I always heard really good things.
So I've had a couple of them, and they're just okay. Now, that's the little one. I never had the big 212 or one. It's a 10 and a 12. I never had that one. Then of course there's the Vox Valvetronics. I still kind of want the Vox like multi effect with the tube in it. Um, I can't remember what it's called. I bet they're dirt cheap now. Crate half stacks. Oh my gosh, look at these. And this is we end on crate. Is that really where this ends?
You
Yeah.
gotta end on crate.
Yeah. All right. We're going to stop sharing that. We're going to go back to just chatting. Y'all, this has been a wild experience.
It's a blast from the past.
Right? Absolutely is. Um,
Progress pedals. I want a 12. That was one of the gold tones, right?
Yeah, one of the gold tones. I have a 1210 cabinet for my Port City amp. It's really cool. I like that a lot. Let's see. I'm going to go over and check. All right. So questions, y'all. We still got a little while here. Weren't they just rebadged Trace Elliott guitar amps? I think you mean the Tech 21 stuff. Trace Elliott's a weird one because it was Trace Elliott, then Peavey bought Trace Elliott. No, then Gibson bought Trace Elliott, and then Gibson bought Trace Elliott, I think. But yes, the gold tone amps were made by Trace Elliott.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. Gibson has had this history of taking amplifier companies to then build other amplifiers for them. Hence, Mesa Boogie is probably who's making the Gibson amps currently.
No, Mesa Boogie's 100% making the Gibson
Yeah.
amps. I don't think that's. I don't even think that's.
That's not controversial or in dispute. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize the gold tones though. I guess, but I'm looking at the Velocette 12R and it definitely looks almost identical to the gold tone GA15.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what's the equivalent of the RV30 RV.
Now that I
Trace
don't.
Elliott's also a weird brand where it's like they don't know what to do with it. And Trace Elliott's like in too broad of a, like, are they trying to be really good at bass? I think all they make is bass stuff now.
Yeah, I think so. Trace Elliott is one of those brands that kind of was something and then faded away. There's been a bunch of those over the years, though. Look at your Trace Elliott. Remember Bag End?
Yeah. Is Trace Elliott's part of Peavey now, right?
Yep. Same thing with Buddha. Buddha amplifiers is Peavey.
Right.
And they vanished as well. Basically, what we're saying is Peavey kills brands. Peavey kills guitar amp brands. So which I hate because I hate that that's the case. I hate that's what's going on.
Who all is part of Peavey right now? Where is there a list? Give me a list. Media Matrix, Architectural Acoustics, PVDJ, Crest, Composite, Sanctuary Series, Buddha, and Trace Elliott. The company holds 180 patents. At one time, its product range boasted more than 2,000 designs, although PV Electronics produces a wide variety of equipment. A few designs stand out as a result of their popularity or use. Okay. PV, I always feel like PV and back in the day, PV and Carvin kind of fit in the same space. The difference is you could find PV in stores, and you couldn't find Carvin anywhere except in the Carvin catalog. But it was this whole thing where it's like, oh, cool, you got like budget mixers and whatever, but it was also just like this annoying branding problem.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to call it.
Both of them have a bad branding problem. Both of them do. And I mean, obviously it's Kiesel now. It's not
right.
Not Carvin. Peavey is still trucking somehow, still doing things. And this year was a good year for them at NAMM. Kind of got people looking at them again. They just officially launched the Decade pedal. Like you can finally buy that now. I still want the little Decade with the stand and the extra speaker because I think it looks cool. It's a lot of money to spend on something just because you think it looks cool, though. So I haven't done it. Yes, Fender kills acoustic guitar brands. Yeah, are
RJ's
they?
cracking the whip on me over on the side here. I got to get the YouTube shorts published this morning.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get that. Got to get that done, man.
All right. PV ruining Crest still makes me cry.
Yeah.
I mean, if they weren't, if that's uh, I always, I sometimes I'm like a mixed, feel a little mixed on these things where it's like, um, maybe if they didn't suck in the first place, they wouldn't have been. Oh, Crest Audio was acquired by PV in 1999.
Yeah.
But maybe if they didn't suck in the first place, they wouldn't have ended up being owned by PV. Uh, I
So
don't know.
I'm going to answer this one for floating sardines. I wonder what people did trying to emulate tone from people's artists. Was there a mystique to it because the internet was still a new concept and spread hoaxes? This is why, and I realize you're new around the guitar space. I think if I remember the comments earlier, this is what guitar magazines were for.
Yep.
And so I'm going to show you what we used to use because someone has compiled a bunch of them. Guitar Geek.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
these weren't compiled.
no. This is a website that has compiled them.
No.
Oh.
These are the original guitar rig diagrams.
Yeah. But like this website isn't Guitar Geek, or this is just the database that where they
Oh, I
say
see. Yeah.
Bobby Kittleberger is cobbling together all the old Guitar Geek rig diagrams.
But even this is like internet era. Like these aren't
Yeah.
from I'm saying these aren't from magazines.
Well,
These
so Guitar Player magazine would publish one of these in every issue.
I think they published something similar.
Yeah. Well, no, because they were Guitar Geek branded.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I still have all my old magazines. I shouldn't, but I do. Um,
Gotcha. Well, Guitar Geek is now owned by guitar.com, I think.
oh,
Um,
I didn't know that.
but guitargeek.com, I actually used to, yeah. So if you try to go to guitargeek.com, at least it used to redirect to, now it redirects to some guy's YouTube channel. That's interesting. But it used to redirect to guitar.com. Um, and yeah, it's a whole I used to go to this site all the time. Wampler was on this site. Nick from Cattle and Bread was on this site. A few other builders were big Guitar Geek
Yeah.
guys. So a lot of these graphics were set up by the guy who owned, I forget what the guy's name was that owned Guitar Geek.
Oh yeah, and see, I never saw that Tosin Abasi Animals as Leaders 2011.
Yeah.
Wow. Audio Slave 2004. I used to love when I would see a rig like, let me see if I can find one. Like, you can guess the kind of rigs I'm talking about that I loved, though.
But so even a lot of these though were,
Stevie Ray Vaughan, 1985. Look at this.
yeah, a lot of these were, this is internet era. This is a lot of what's the thing, like in terms of what would people do to check or trying to chase this. Sometimes you'd go to interviews in magazines and stuff and you'd get, Eddie Van Halen saying weird shit that totally wasn't true just because, just to fuck with people.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. People would just make stuff up. Um, and even back in the day, you could only trust so much. There'd be magazine
Yeah.
interviews, and if you wanted to go, this is back in my day for me. That's what this feels like. But if you want to go further back, like the age pre-internet, it was still magazine articles, interviews. You had to track it down and figure out what they were using, and then you had to hope they were being honest
Yeah.
because some people just didn't want you to know. Um,
Um, Joe says, man, graphics programs then compared to now. Honestly, I don't think anything beats this aesthetic.
yeah, no, this is so
I,
perfect.
I think it's like the right level of kind of a hand-drawn vibe. Their organization, like the font choices and whatnot, could be improved, but
Oh, 100%.
in terms of like, this is a very like 32-bit vibe that I think is kind of timeless. Um, but I will say, going back to the idea of what would people have done to check for clones or finding cheaper alternatives in the aughts, I you know I think sometimes it's lost. Like this Guitar Geek ran from I don't remember what year it started,
Me either.
but I was in there like I want to say 99, 2000, 2001, somewhere in that space.
Hmm.
So really by this era, like the early 2000s, Harmony Central was actually by the early 2000s Harmony Central was on its way out.
Yeah.
But you
Same with the
had
I was on the guitar.com forums back then, and it
hmm,
was on its way out too.
but the Gear Page, what year was the Gear Page founded? Like I don't remember.
Oh 04?
Was it 04? Um,
I don't know actually.
uh, so there were a lot of other pages that existed. These uh forums were pretty big and all over the place. And if you were looking for something, uh, your options were a lot slimmer. What's the question was again like what would people have done to check for clones or finding cheaper alternatives in the 2000s? Everything was just Boss. It was like you're buying Boss or EHX or MXR. Those were your kind of your three choices for professional grade effects pedals.
Yeah. I did find it. It was January 2002.
Is when the
And
gear page
when the
started.
gear page, and it was launched as a sister site to the original PRS forum,
Oh, weird.
not Birds and Moons, which is a different one that started up after the people who founded the gear page also founded the PRS forum, and they
Right.
closed that, and Birds and Moons came out. Huh. The things you can find. I'm gonna stop sharing. I think we're done here. Um, it was weird back then trying to figure out how people did things and the sounds people made because you just didn't know. You go far enough back, you really just did not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's frustrating. Now I think we take for granted how much access we have, how easy it is for us to like YouTube. Everybody wants to talk shit about influencers lately. That seems like a thing, or demo people, or y-
Yeah.
but hey, guess what? If you don't have this, you don't hear any of this unless you go to the store and hear it. You got to have this at this point. I mean, there was a day, you go further back, let's go pre-CD, pre-tape.
Mhm. Mhm.
People would ship records of the sound of the effects pedals to the music stores and to some people so that you could listen to a record of what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Like that was the only way you'd get to hear it.
I got a
Hugh.
child knocking on my door.
Oh, go for it.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm gonna try
Oh.
to. I'm gonna
Hugh
try to see
apparently
if
has
I
some
can.
Birds and Moons memories. I knew nothing of the PRS forum or the Birds and Moons forum, probably because I've never liked PRS guitars.
I think
Uh,
I've heard of it. I vaguely remember it existing, and that's
okay,
about it.
gotcha.
Um,
Yeah, none of that's familiar to me at all. So, I was a big not Harmony Central, guitar.com forum. I was on
right.
the Seymour Duncan user group forum,
I remember
uh,
that one.
and I was on the Dr. Z forum.
Yeah. I was mostly in a group called it was like we could just call it CGR. It was Christian Guitar Resources.
Oh,
But that group was pretty big. Um and actually we had some like pretty knowledgeable people in there, and because of the space, because the gear page has always been kind of full of assholes, and Harmony Central would kind of go back and forth with that. Um so but then some of these spaces were pretty were a bit more regulated in terms of that. Oh, I forgot about Tone King Forum.
I never was on there, but I gotta bring this up, Michael. Um, so I did not know for the longest time. I won't turn on live, y'all. I can actually play live, but for the longest time when I started learning "Welcome to the Jungle," I
Yeah.
didn't know it was a delay, so I learned to play. Anyway, um, should have been an E there at the end. Yeah, I definitely did that, where I just learned to play faster for certain parts because I didn't know it was a delay.
Hey, if it works, it works. Let me go see what's going on with this
Okay,
child.
sounds good.
All right.
All right, looking through some of these comments. Harmony Central, yeah, some of those changes ruined that forum. Absolutely did. I know that a lot of people bounced out of it. Um, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up on all the comments here. Um, I no one thinks about how 24 frets ruins the neck pickup placement. That's the thing I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but it is definitely a thing I've always heard. Um, and I still remember this conversation around PRS, the 22 versus 24 frets, and how that was sort of a weird, because supposedly, 22 fret neck allows you to put the pickup directly under certain harmonic nodes, so you got certain frequencies more or less than other placements. It was a weird thing. Um, the forums were a wild place. I'm still really close friends with a lot of people from those forums. Um, And so, actually, old Xander from Working Class Music, he and I used to know each other on the Seymour Duncan forums. We discovered after meeting each other in person and got to talking about forums. That was how we learned everything. And some of it was absolutely incorrect because nobody knew better. Like, there's some really, really knowledgeable folks that were around on those forums, but you also had some really loud, obnoxious people that didn't know what the hell they were talking about, trying to tell you, kind of like me, like I only know so much. But um going back a little bit, Eddie Van Halen was absolutely known for making things up. He absolutely did. He didn't want people to know exactly how he's doing. That's why we're only I believe we're just now learning some of the stuff he used, um and how he did it. Yep, that was absolutely it. We're talking about the 22 fret versus 24 fret thing that used to
Oh
pop up
yeah.
on forums all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. People were. Oh, that's also I think an Ed Roman thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which that store still exists somehow.
I don't know how. Joe, I
It's
miss
just
forum
owned by
days.
it's just owned by another guy, and I think they have a lot of the. I think they might still have like links to all of his stories and stuff. I don't know if they still run the same way where it's like you have to go, you have to like have an appointment, and if you try to show up without an appointment, the owner yells at you.
Oh gosh. I always thought the logo looked like a pawn shop, so it really does.
Yeah.
Their website. Let's do this. Joe, I definitely agree. That's why I love Discord, because it reminds me of the forums in a lot of ways. Um,
Mm.
that's why I started the Discord for 40 Watt. I hate the Facebook group. I want to get off Facebook so bad. I want to never go back there.
I kind of only
Um,
use it for gear. Like I'm only in gear groups. I don't really do anything else there.
yeah. So here you go. Uh, Roman Guitars. This website, y'all. First of all, we'll go back to the homepage. It's got whatever this thing is.
This
And
actually looks better than the last time I
yeah,
was there.
this logo though, this logo absolutely looks like he's a pawn shop.
Yeah.
So, guitars for sale. Let's see what he's got. Roman abstract guitars. Steve, I'm officially sending just this entire page to
Oh my
y'all
gosh.
as
What is this?
fodder for the podcast. Look at this thing.
Hugh says, I called Ed Roman recently and the dude that answered was Sketch. So business as usual. That's what I'm
That
hearing.
tracks. Look at this thing. Oh, I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they can't, like, who's actually making it?
Look
The
at this price
abstract
point.
guitars?
Look at this.
Yeah. No
Woof.
thanks.
Some of these they look like they've taken actual guitars that exist and done weird things to them. Like this abstract Cadillac looks almost like they just stretched out a Bo Diddley.
That abstract Cadillac looks like they shrunk the Budweiser logo.
And this the abstract green zombie is absolutely an Iceman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the preacher, that's an Ovation model. I cannot. By the way, I saw it when I hovered over amplifiers. They still have crate as an option. Currently, there are no products.
And there won't be anytime soon.
Oh man, yeah. So we're gonna get off this here. Stop sharing. Man, this is like full nostalgia day here. So Ed Roman used to make an amplifier too that I got offered as a trade a couple of times a few years ago. Many years ago at this point, and just everyone I asked about it was like said avoid at all costs. Just don't go near it. So
Antigua SG from Meatloaf? I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. I'm gonna Google search that though.
And when I Google it, it just shows me pictures of Meatloaf.
Oh, me too. No, mine actually brought up the musician. Oh, nope, there's one. A 1960s Wonder Bread Meatloaf. So no, I'm not getting the guitar. I don't know. I need more information. Oh, floating sardines, it's nearly 2 a.m. for you. Yeah, go to bed.
What time zone is
I
it?
don't know what
Currently
time zone is 2 a.m.
Is
right
that like
now.
Australia?
That's gotta be. Time in Sydney, Australia right now.
Or is it like
No, that's close. It's somewhere in Australia. Maybe in Melbourne? Nope, not in Melbourne. Brisbane. Perth.
Are you just gonna name every city in Australia?
Well, it's like 4 of them. It's really easily. I just gotta find the time zone line. Good night, Float.
Oh, Philippines. You're wrong.
Oh, dang it. Well,
that's what we get for being white people. We only think about places white people live.
That's true. That is true. My bad. That I got to that time zone that Perth's in at least. We were in the right part of the world, sort of.
We're in the right stretch of the 1/24th sliver of the planet.
Yep, correct. We narrowed it down to 4% of the planet.
Man, there's a classic vibe for 325 near me.
I can get you a classic vibe cheaper than that, brand new.
Brand new?
Brand new.
But the new ones aren't good. You got to get the old ones, right?
No, man. Let's talk about that. I got one.
Know. That's what people always say.
I got one that I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to start work on the video this afternoon.
Oh, the Classic Vibe Jazzmaster.
Yeah, going to be giving away a Classic Vibe Jazzmaster. Somebody just died inside me doing blues licks on a Jazzmaster.
Isn't that what they were designed for?
That's absolutely what they were designed for. Pop Staples played one of these, man. So did several other blues guys. But so I'm going to be taking this. I'm going to pull these strings off and pull the pick guard. Going to be replacing the pickups with some Seymour Duncan silencers, and going to replace the wiring harness with a Gun Street wiring.
Gun Street.
Gun Street
Yeah.
wiring harness that has push-pulls on the tone and the volume so that you can do a coil tap, not a coil tap, a phase reversal,
Hmm, hmm.
and one so you can do series parallel between the two pickups. It's really, man, this is a really nice neck on these classic vibe Jazz Masters.
You heard it here. Don't sleep on don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on the classic vibe
And get them now
guitar
while you can,
before the prices go up.
before the prices go up. Although they're crafted in Indonesia, so
Oh. Oh, so they're basically Fender Standard Series now.
made in the same factory, almost assuredly.
How many people are even here? 49?
Yeah, that's down a bit. That's okay.
Hey, 49 people.
Well, then
What's
there's
going on?
6 others over on mine.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, we're
There we
running in
go.
the 50s here. Steve, what else? Anything going on in the last like 15 minutes we got here? Anything you want to talk about? We went down memory lane today.
Yeah. Yeah. Any more? I'm looking. It's so prices are up. Prices up already. Joe says prices already up, aren't they? For some things they are. For other things they are not. It just kind of.
Carmen San Diego is safe with Philip on the case. I'd have gotten there eventually, Amanda.
It just kind of seems like what I'm hearing is that even though a lot of the tariffs are kind of like, it just seems like the guidance is unclear from
Yeah.
at the federal level to because I'm hearing I'm hearing I think John Cusack talk about how he had something like $40,000 in parts, and DHL or whoever the shipping company was asking him to pay another like $60,000 on top of that. And I'm hearing this from a lot of places, a lot of different brands. JHS made a big post, and it was funny is JHS made a big post about tariffs, and the biggest criticism I saw on it was like, well, most people actually do know how they work. It's just this loud idiot minority that doesn't know how it works. And it's like, well, it doesn't really matter. Like on it, like I feel like it doesn't matter. Um, don't you guys think the more options you have to shape your tone with push pulls and all that good stuff on your guitars, the less you feel enticed into actually using all those options? Um,
Steve, go.
I think if you either use them or you don't. I even like the rev. So I know this is talking about guitars on push pulls and stuff, but like I got the Rev D20 back there. It's
Mm-hmm.
borderline got too many knobs for me.
Yep.
Um, my I'm like Princeton. Like that's a nice thing about the Princeton or like the Fender. I've always said like my ideal amp is a Fender Deluxe, and part of the reason for that is because it's treble bass. That's it.
Yeah,
There's not
that's
even
it.
a mid knob.
Nope. I
And I
I
don't know if
love
I
that
even want a mid
simplicity.
knob.
You do, but that's just me.
That's what Tube Screamer is for.
You're not wrong, actually. You're really not wrong. Um, so this past weekend, not this weekend, obviously, last weekend, I gigged and I had the brothers AM on my pedal board
Yeah.
with my King of Tone because I wanted to shoot them out live.
Yeah.
And honestly, doing the video on the King of Tone and the brothers made me remember how much I love the King of Tone and why it's my favorite overdrive.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
I put back together a pedal board for all of my it'll do most of my gigs for me as long as my amp has reverb. This overdrive, tremolo, and delay.
Yeah.
I wanted
Is
as
that
few.
is the Oracle a delay?
Yeah, this is an
Okay.
analog delay with a tap tempo. Um, then I got the Kingsley Bard, which is an incredible tremolo pedal. It's the most expensive tremolo pedal I've ever bought. And of course, King of Tone. This is
Yeah.
it. I do use a fuzz and a wah pedal off board, but that's with
Hmm.
every
Hmm.
board I use. Um, and so this really does it for me.
What are
Like
you
this,
powering that with?
uh, Eventide Power Mini.
Okay. You mean a Chalks
Yes, I mean our
DC4?
chalks for AC4. Yeah,
AC4?
yeah. Is it AC4? Is it was something
I think
four?
it's DC4.
DC4. That's right. Oh yeah, AC's been on my brain because I need an AC power supply if I ever want to put the Rotosphere on a pedal board.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I yeah,
Uh,
I'm with Frodo here. If you get too many options, my brain can't handle it. But there are an awful lot of players out there that do really well with all the options and using all the different things to do some really cool stuff. It's
yeah.
not for me, but there are people who really make it work.
Yeah. Uh, Kind of going back to the pricing thing. Amanda says for some they just haven't yet. They're still running on old inventory.
Hmm.
It's I think for at least from what I've seen, it's not just that they're running on old inventory. It's also that I think some of the brands just don't want to have to adjust their prices multiple times.
Right.
So they're kind of like in a position where because they're running on old inventory, that everybody right now that's selling is running on old inventory. Even if they're well, I know there's exceptions. If you're extremely limited stock, obviously that would be an exception. If you basically are like a small batch builder, but a lot of the brands that are kind of getting like people saying, well, this is probably a tariff price increase, like Fender, the J Mascis Jazzmaster going up $90. Um, the assumption is that it's because of tariffs or whatever.
Right.
Um, that inventory, I'm sure, still exists. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a year's worth of J Mascis Jazzmasters just sitting in warehouses. But they've already, seen whether it's opportunistic or whatever you want to call it. They've raised that price, um, and so that's kind of that that thing, right? And so if you can afford to adjust it, but there's also my point being is like say you sell something for $100, and right now it looks like and you're importing it, so whatever your import is, I'm not going to work through all the little tweaks here, but say you sell it for $100 because of tariffs. Now you're saying because of the current as of May 4th, episode 1 tariffs in place, you're looking at like, well, I should probably raise my price to $130. But then if in June that tariff gets cut in half, then you're like, well, I could sell this for $115 and be just in the same spot that I was at 130. And then, they change again in July and you're going to say, well, now I need to raise the price to $150.
Right.
Those kinds of fluctuations might be worse for your business versus just eating the potential loss right now. And the other thing that you're seeing brands do, I've seen a few different companies talk about this, that they are just refusing to receive. So they have shipments that are just sitting in like the DHL warehouse, or they're sitting in the port in a warehouse because they're not going to pay. They're going to wait out to whatever the maximum. I don't know how long it is. Someone who knows that inside more than I do would have to comment on that. But I know that I figured that they are just sitting on um until the last minute, and then they're going to decide whether or not they want to pay that extra 150, 170%, whatever.
Yep.
uh yeah, some companies will have to put up the price of old inventory to raise the money for new. Absolutely. um
And
Self
it's
buttering toast says Fender price increase was planned 6 months ago. That's 100% definitely a possibility. As far as the JHS speculation, I will not weigh in on it because I already know what the answer is.
yeah.
Just let's just say, oh, I should probably make a post about this. There will not be a podcast tomorrow. The podcast is getting delayed to
Tuesday.
Tuesday for 60 Cycle Home.
Oh, por qué?
because of JJ's product launch tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
Don't do anything tomorrow if you're on YouTube.
What? Don't
Don't
do
if you're
anything.
in the guitar YouTube. Nobody
Oh
watch
yeah.
anything tomorrow because it will get buried. Oh my gosh. The fluctuations are a form of terrorism. Terrorism. Um,
Uh, Rocket Music is selling a I think it's Tarific shirt right now. Excuse me. I've been seeing Haley promote it on Instagram. What does it say? That your Instagram link doesn't work from your website.
oh, that's no bueno.
What is it? I'm trying to. How's it going? Terrific. That's what it says.
Oh, gotcha. I love it. Terrific.
Fender price increase before GTA 6.
Man, there's a whole lot that happened before we got GTA 6.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
get Winds of Winter before we get GTA 6.
Is that the next Game of Thrones?
Yes. Oh, we're never going to get it. Oh, I tell you what, I'm starting to fade on things to talk about. So unless anybody has any extra questions, we're probably getting close.
Yeah, Mark Spurgeon, good luck tomorrow. He's having neck surgery
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow. So best of
Definitely
luck
good
with
luck.
that. Go watch the short that I just posted. It's about reverb.
Oh.
Um
I'm going to
so
post
that's
a short
exciting.
here shortly from the podcast episode with Joe Halliday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I need to post that.
Like
Because I don't want to wait till tomorrow.
Here's a Fender Stratocaster. They say it's a Squire Stratocaster Plus Deluxe in crimson red, but then the headstock says it's a standard. But it's $100.
What?
Yeah. Listed yesterday.
Man, the prices on stuff is getting.
It's pretty beat up. It's been dropped.
Yeah,
at least
but
once.
for $100.
Yeah. Salvage parts, Alnico pickups.
Oh, that'll do.
Oh.
I saw it this morning. It was listed 9 hours ago. It's a DoD ICIT amplifier. It's like a 2x8 thing with chorus.
Yeah.
For $75.
ICIT? It's called the ICIT?
Yeah, it's terrible.
2x8 chorus amp. Those.
It's stereo. It's just like the PV Audition chorus that I had.
Yeah. Well, all of these weird little put an effect in an amp thing. DoD did a bunch of those.
Yeah, they did.
Amp. There's 72 of them on Reverb right now. Not just ICITs, but variable. Like there's a grunge one for 177. The price range on the only ICITs I'm seeing are $572.
What?
There's a Grind It for $324. There's another Grind It for $127.
What a terrible amp naming scheme.
There's another Grunge for $326. Another Grunge for $377.
Joe, I need you to quit shattering my hopes and dreams. He's gonna finish that book. We're gonna get Elder Scrolls 6 before we get GTA 6. That's gonna happen. Oh, we didn't talk about this at all. The screen violence is going away.
Oh,
the Old Blood Noise Endeavors pedal. They're discontinuing it.
Does that mean that whatever agreement they had with, was it Churches?
Churches?
Yeah. CHVRC. Churches. I assume that is that like a Instagram announcement or something?
They did a video on it and put it in their Discord. Yeah, so it is going away. So if you ever wanted that pedal, which is a saturated modulated reverb, you should
Hmm.
probably get one while they're still available.
We're sending it off to the Great Beyond at the end of the month. More details to come, but here they have 2 custom colorways. One is blue and white. The other one is black and white. The red and green one is still on their website for $280.
Yeah, which is funny because it's available on Reverb for 305. So buy it from their website.
I mean, I the 279 plus shipping could be 305.
Well, then the shipping on Reverb's $8.
Ah, gotcha.
I think they're just making up the fees.
It's a tube inspired overdrive combined with an effect, a mixed mode effect.
Yeah.
Single knob that can be modulation, delay, reverb, or a mix of all. Interesting.
Oh, and it is free shipping on the Old Blood
Oh, okay,
website.
cool.
So, yeah, definitely buy it there.
Could be a part sourcing issue. That would make sense.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
makes
in the
more
Discord.
sense.
I can't. I was in enough Discords that I turned notifications off for all of Discord, and basically what that really did was it killed my usage of Discord.
Yeah, and see, I have most Discords muted except for the 40 watt one.
Hmm. See, I just
And
didn't want to. I even only having one with notifications on would
was too much.
still
Yeah, it's a
hitting
lot.
me with a ton of notifications.
Yeah.
Because if
I'm in Discord a lot because I just prefer it to every other social media
right,
and chat platform. So I need all of my favorite people over on Discord. So I can leave Facebook. That's what I want. Come to Discord. 40 Watt Podcast Discord. I think it's in the show notes on mine, not in Steve's, unless I hack into their YouTube and put them there.
I think it's in our show notes.
Oh, good.
Well, it's probably not right now because
You need to update them.
freaking
Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah, Riverside's being dumb.
Riverside.
Awesome. Well, it is 1 o'clock.
It is
I
1
am
o'clock.
hungry for lunch.
You should
Steve
go eat
has
some
not had
lunch.
breakfast.
That's true.
And so we're going to get out of here. We sure appreciate all of y'all hanging out. We know we've missed a week and it's been a little weird, but we'll be back in a few weeks. For those of you interested, I think I'm going to start streaming every Sunday about this time, not doing 2 hours. No, screw that. By myself, 2 hours, not happening. But I'm going to start live streaming on topic based things, maybe demo some pedals.
Cool.
And do stuff like that. Just like pick a topic every week, live stream for 30 to 60 minutes, and just hang out and chat, just to add a little
Yeah.
content and some other stuff and talk about some stuff. Like right now, I've got UA sent me out the Dream 65 and the Enigmatic to
Oh, okay.
check out
Those are
because
cool.
I did not have a very good.
Which
Huh?
one's the enigmatic?
That's the Dumble one.
Oh, okay.
I got to meeting. I met with someone from UA at NAM, and we got to talk. And I told him I didn't have a very good experience with the Dream 65.
Mm.
Um, so Ace Cyprium, I am Central. Steve is not. Steve is over in California.
Yep.
I am in Mississippi. So
I'm trying to think what else is going on. Like I said, I know Ryan has the JHS is doing the JHS thing tomorrow, so podcast is pushing out to
yeah,
Tuesday, which still probably means hopefully I don't know if he's gonna post it to today because the Patreons. So basically, the Patreons get the audio version of the podcast as soon as I have time to process it after Ryan uploads it. So there's
yeah,
kind of a, a chain of events there, but also
yeah.
I've been using my JHS camping mug a lot more lately.
Oh, have you?
I really enjoy camping mugs, like the little ceramic coated
Yeah.
metal.
They've got to be done right. I've got a little camping mug that my friend in Singapore sent me that's actually metal, like not ceramic coated. You
Oh,
can't
okay.
actually use it for anything hot because the handle gets too hot.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, um,
Mark says, how long has this been going on? It's been going for 1 hour, 59 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yep. So that means it's about
7
to end.
seconds. 10
But
seconds.
thanks for joining.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
Thanks for joining our niche little live stream here.
Yeah, that's what we do. Niche
Right at the
live
end.
streams.
All right, man. Well, this was fun. This is
Yeah.
good. We'll do it again in probably maybe at the end of May. We'll do.
Yeah,
Should be
end of
doing a
May
May
would be
one.
the most likely one. There, maybe we'll do it Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, somewhere. Is
Yeah.
that the last? Is that
I think
the 25th?
that's the last
That is
Sunday
probably
in
25th.
May.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds good.
all right. Bye, y'all.
See ya. Stay grounded.